Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. For today's video I'm going to be talking about why school makes me feel stupid. But before I go into that, I just want to address the lighting issue. It is currently 9:01 at night, so the sun has gone down, so I have a ring light and I've adjusted the ISO, so if it looks, as in the white balance, sorry, if it looks too white that's probably why, but other than that it wasn't really working. I don't know, like, I don't really know what way to put you guys because yeah, but anyway, that's why. If it looks off, that's why, because the sun is going down. And yeah, also I have no makeup on, my face is bare, so we're just gonna excuse that fact because I just couldn't be arsed wearing makeup today and I look like a mess. But anyway, the whole point of this video is about school. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I'm currently a 6-year student in Ireland doing my Leaving Cert. And before I get into this video, I'm just going to say a Leaving Cert is basically the equivalent of, if you're in England, it's the A-levels, and if you're in America, I believe it's the SATs or finals. I don't know what you call them, but that's what they are, I think. So it's basically the last exam you do in secondary school. I don't know if this probably varies in different countries. In secondary school, and then you go on to college or university. So that's basically just my explanation of it. So yeah, if I'm going to go into the video now, but subscribe if you want to, and yeah, let's get into the video. So I've said numerous times, if you've watched any of my videos before, that I do struggle with school a lot, and I've always struggled with school. It's just the way it is. I'm just find school really hard, and this has affected me in a lot of ways, but in this video I'm just going to be talking about secondary school and the Leaving Cert. So this is quite a personal video to me because it's one that I wanted to film for literally the longest time, but I just didn't have the courage to, and I just felt a bit scared to. Yeah, it's just kind of embarrassing for me to say this, but I know that if it helps even one person watching this video, then that's it, completely made for me, and I'm just be delighted. So I found school difficult since I was in first year. When I was in first year I was 14 years of age, and I found it really, really difficult. When I went into first year, we had to do 12 subjects, which was a hell of a lot. I think maybe it was 11 because one of them we didn't have an exam in, but anyway, I think it was 11 or 12, and this was really tough for me. I'd always struggled in primary school, let alone in secondary school, when there's a huge amount of subjects. Subjects I struggle the most with is maths, science, business. I hated business so much. Like probably the most, well, what is happening? The most prevalent part of business was the accounting side, which again relates to maths, and I just found it so difficult, and I struggled a lot with languages. I did a video on my mental health, which I'll leave up here. I always point to the wrong side. I don't know, it's up here, where I talked about my anxiety and stuff, and I did say in that I went through a phase in like first year and the lower years, and especially third year, where I thought that I wasn't going to make it to Leaving Cert. And I think the main cause of a lot of my anxiety was because I was so bad at school, and I was really struggling. Yeah, I was really struggling, and yeah, so I kind of said to myself in that lower part of the year bracket that I wasn't going to make it until Leaving Cert, and that was probably the most scariest phase of my life that I've ever been in, because I found school so bad. I found it so tough, and I just thought I wasn't good enough, that I didn't think that I would make it to Leaving Cert, either that I'd drop out or a different way, which is really scary to admit. As somebody who's 14 years old, when I was in first year, when I was 15 in second year and 16 in third year, it was really difficult for me to, with everything that's going on as a teenager, to deal with what I was dealing with in school. And that was just simply the fact that I believed that I was the most stupid person ever, and I just found it so difficult. I just felt that I was so stupid and that I just wasn't good enough, and this really impacted me a lot. Just because somebody isn't book smart or academic in the things that the school is predominantly teaching, or that the education system is predominantly promoting and teaching, doesn't mean that somebody is stupid. But yet, as 19-year-old Fiona, and I compare myself to 14-year-old Fiona, I'm still thinking that I'm stupid, and it's just not fair. It really isn't. like when I look back at the mindset that I had in first year, it really breaks my heart. Or third year even, coming up to this point that the Leaving Cert's 2 weeks away. 2 weeks up until my junior cert, I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried because I thought I was gonna do terrible, which is so sad. And like I actually think the junior cert for me was tougher than the Leaving Cert, as in the build up to it, because for the Leaving Cert, I've done a state exam and I know what it's like. Secondly, I know I'm trying my hardest and I know that I'll be okay, hopefully. Like I know that at the end of the day everything happens for a reason. But for so many people sitting exams in every country or whatever, it's just so hard to go through something when you're finding it so difficult, and like you compare yourself to so many people. You're like, why can't I be as smart as this person? Why can't I be as smart as this person? Why is everyone better at this than me? Why am I so stupid? And it's just really, really unfair that that's the way the education system is. I really think the education system needs to change. It's super unfair, and it makes people question themselves and make people feel shit about themselves. I watched a video by Riyadh Khalif. I'll leave it linked on one of these sites up here. I don't know which one it is, like I've just said. That's like why exams don't matter, and it's just such a strong message. I highly recommend watching it. I watched that every day before any of my junior cert exams because I was in such a bad way about them. I watched his video every day just so I would feel a little bit more positive. His video is really good, definitely recommend watching it. One phrase that he has in it, I'm not going to get this right now because I haven't watched it in probably 2 months, but is that it's like sticking, basically the Leaving Cert is like a memory game, and any exam is a memory game. It's not testing your intelligence as a human, because all humans are intelligent in different ways. Somebody could be intelligent socially, somebody could be intelligent academically, musically, anyway, and those ways unfortunately aren't being tested as much as it is to be book smart, and that's really unfortunate and unfair. But Riyadh basically says that like it's like a memory game of like sticking a hard drive up your ass to try and remember everything. So just give that video a watch, it's worth the watch. But basically it just really resonated with me because school has made me feel so stupid for the entirety that I've been in school. And I think it's kind of that I'm just very harsh on myself, but also it's not fair for somebody so young and just starting out, starting to grow up to feel this way. It's just really not fair. And I've spent so many, like looking back on it, crying and wishing that I was good enough and feeling that I wasn't good enough. And that's not fair because, like I just said, everybody's talented in different ways. For example, I love photography. It's something I am so passionate about, and I may not be the best ever, but I've just kind of started out with this camera and started to get to know myself, and it's something that makes me so happy. And there's also other people who are good at sport or who are good at dancing or art and all of that, and it's just unfair that to get into a course in college that you have to pass maths, you have to pass English, and it's just like, if you're doing a course that doesn't have maths in it, why do you need to pass it? Like for me, like I have dyslexia in maths, and like I'm doing foundation maths for my Leaving Cert. I've made a video on that. The video actually before this, I talked about all of that. So if you want to go watch that, again, linked up here. I made a video on that, and it's embarrassing to do foundation maths. I've said that in the video. It is embarrassing because people do higher level maths, and I'm like, how the heck can you do that? But again, it is unfair because, well, no, okay. I understand that higher level maths is obviously very hard, but the fact that there's a 25 extra points just makes me feel like shit. Basically what I was saying was that I think it's unfair that only higher level maths gets the extra 25 points, because I know when I did ordinary level maths, for me that was incredibly difficult. I literally got 40% all the way up, sometimes even less than that, like 20%, 10% at one point, and I just like, there should be points added on for that. Like I know it's to bring people in to do high level maths and all that, but like when you don't, just really pisses me off, because when you're not good enough at maths and you go down to ordinary level or you go down to foundation, it makes you feel so shit about yourself because you aren't good enough to do maths and to get those extra 25 points. If you compare a subject like English English should have an extra 25 points as well. It is a really, really hard subject. It happens to be one of my favourite subjects, but it's a really hard subject, and I just think it's unfair. And this whole focus on maths. Like, it's just like, come on, we're not all the same person. We don't have the same talents or interests, and it's just so unfair, and it just annoys me that the education system is paving out for this one type of student. Like, what type of world is this that students have, like, I'm getting emotional because it just pisses me off. Students have to go to school and they're comparing themselves to the people who are top in the class, who are literally getting A's in everything or just literally passing everything. They're like, why can't I be like this person? But yet they feel like their worth as a human, as a person, is undermined, undervalued, because they are not book smart. And that just really, really gets to me a lot, and it makes me really emotional because I have put so much pressure on myself literally the whole 6 years, and I know other people who have as well, and they feel undermined, they feel stupid, they feel that their worth as a human is questioned because they are not smart enough in the eyes of the education system. Like, what is fucking happening here? Sorry, I've just gotten very angry all of a sudden, but it's been something that has really annoyed me for a really long time, and like, I don't know. I just hope by the time that I have children that the education system is different, because I do not want my children or anybody else feeling that they are not good enough because they are not book smart. And I hope the education system broadens itself and that you can do more subjects, because if you take me for example, I am terrible at maths, terrible at science, and the list is endless really when it comes to school. Like, I just find it so difficult, but I am somebody who works hard. I work my ass off, and yet it doesn't show. And I just think, you know, there's more to life than exams, and by putting so much pressure on young people at such a young age, you've got the people who will do well and they will succeed, and then you've got the people who won't, and they question everything in their life because they're not succeeding and they're not doing good. For me, like, that's been something I felt all across the board, like in every class that I was in, even am now. Like, I just feel stupid, you know. Like I remember one class predominantly was business in 3rd year. I sat there and literally almost cried every day because it was so hard. Sorry, the lighting was a bit bad there. Like, it's definitely a jump. I was so into myself. Wow, I was so into what I was saying that I forgot to check the lighting. Anyway, yeah, I just sitting in the class wanting to cry because I couldn't understand the homework because I felt stupid. It's just not good enough, and I just think the education system needs to change. And I've said this for years, literally. As Ireland wonders why the mental health of this youth is literally in shatters. When you compare, like, everybody says that today's youths have it worse than, let's say, the last generations because of social media, because of the amount of pressure there is to look a certain way, to be a certain way, and all of that. There's so much pressure on young people. And then when you compare that pressure of, let's say, fitting in, to be social media, to look good, to portray yourself in a certain way, with exam pressure and not feeling good enough, and with getting a certain amount of points to get into a course in a university, like, what is happening? Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not bashing being educated. I'm so happy to be educated, and I'm so happy to be able to receive that, because it's like, there's some people who don't receive it, and I don't want to come across as being like, oh my god, the education system sucks, when there's some people who don't even get the chance to have an education system, to have an education. Like, I'm so grateful to have an education, but it just, I know it sounds awful now when I'm like, but just at the cost of, like, only carrying certain amount of subjects, and it just makes people who can't do them feel like shit. And yeah, it's been something that's messed with my mental health for the last 6 years. It's been something that I've sat in school and just compared myself to incredibly smart people. I've worked so hard in subjects like biology, for example. I worked my bum off in biology literally all last year, and in my mocks I got 33%. Just because I simply cannot retain science. Like I said, I'm just terrible at science. But yet in class tests I was getting 60s and 70s and 50s. But just in an exam I just blank and I can't remember it. So I'm gonna drop down to ordinary level biology, I think, because I'm so scared about it. So basically all I just wanted to say to anybody watching this video who happens to relate to me, who also feels worthless because they're not smart enough, who feels stupid in class, who feels that they will never be good enough, or they will never go to a college because they can't retain the points, can I just please tell you that you're not alone. Like, I would sit in class and feel like everybody else in here is a lot smarter than me, everyone else is finding this fine except for me, when that's not the case. It really isn't. Like, so many people have learning disabilities and have things going on and they might not even know about it. And it's just, there's a certain phrase that I use all the time. It's like, you know that picture of there's like a bunch of animals lined up. Judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking that it's stupid, because a fish physically cannot climb a tree. And that is the same for us. Some people physically cannot do something. If you like maths, I absolutely despise maths. I'm horrible at maths. I physically find it difficult to do maths, yet I still have to pass maths in order to go to college, in order to pass my leaving cert. It is so stupid and it's so demoralizing and degrading for somebody who actually can't do it. And it's just like, come on, we need to wake up and fucking do something about this, because it's not fair. It's not fair to the people who can't meet the high standards. It's not fair to what that does for somebody, what that does to somebody who works hard and yet they feel so stupid. And I just want to say, like, I'm not bashing anybody here who is smart and does well in school. Like, fair play to you. Like, that, the amount of work that takes, like, honestly, fair play to you. But I'm just saying this as somebody who has spent hours studying, who has worked hard. Like, I'm a hard worker. Like, I don't mean to be like up my own ass, but that is something about me. I do work hard. But yet, to someone on the outside, my results don't reflect that. That's kind of what this video is about. And I just wanted to be here for somebody who's like, going up to the leaving cert or the junior cert even is a really stressful time when you're someone who finds school difficult. Or if you're somebody who just deals with anxiety and stuff, it's a really stressful time. And I just wanted to say to you that you're not alone. And I know that I'm trying to convince myself of this too, because I'm struggling a lot. Like, you know, I really am. Like, to try and tell yourself that everything in life happens for a reason. We all have different talents. There's different ways of getting places. But when you're in a mindset of leaving cert, leaving cert, leaving cert, and you've got your blinders on and all you see is the leaving cert, it's really hard to see that. So I just want to say, like, you're not alone. You're loved. And after these exams, you will be fine. And it may not feel like that now. Also trying to convince myself of this, by the way. It may not feel like that now. But, like, I just am a strong believer that everything in life happens for a reason. And yeah. And just that you are loved and your family wants the best for you. I know that there's so many strict parents and strict people and like, you have to get this, this and this. And I think it's so unfair, because school is a lot different from when they did it. And I don't mean to be rude by saying that, but it is a lot different from when they did it. There's a lot more pressure. There's a lot more at stake. So I just want to say, like, just do the best you can and just come out of there knowing that you worked your best. And like, there's so many options. There's like repeating the leaving cert if you want. For me, I would never do that. If you paid me to do that, I just don't think I physically could. But if that is an option for you, that's fine. There's a PLC course, which is a great option because it gives you an insight into what the course is like, and it gives you that kind of step in the right direction. And then there's going to college. And remember, guys, this is something that I did not learn in school, that they did not tell me. When you reach the age of 23, no college, I don't know if there's no college, but colleges do not ask for what you got in your leaving cert. They ask you, you do an interview, and they see by you, your personality, by your ambition, by your attitude, if you are good enough for that course. That is how they pick. So I think that's something that is kind of, it's nice to know. So just please do the best you can. And I know these 2 weeks are hell, because trust me, I'm feeling it, But I just want to say to anybody out there struggling, we can do this. Class of 2019, class of whoever's watching this, we can do this. And junior certs, you're not ignored too. If you're watching this, you will do absolutely fine. Trust me, I survived my junior cert. I'm still here and I did fine. Not that it matters, but I did fine. And you know, by the time you get to leaving cert, it is nice to have set a state exam to know what to expect. So I just want to say best of luck to everybody, and on the off chance that somebody from the Department of Education sees this, please change the system. It is really bad. Okay, it's not really bad. There's obviously worse education systems, but just more needs to be done to help. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this. Stay strong. You were loved. Exams are exams. Do what you can, and that's all I can say, really. I just hope it's okay. I just hope so. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you listen to my ramble, there's a lot of rambling in this video. I'm really sorry. But yeah. Best of luck, and I will see you guys after the leaving cert, I guess. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, bye. Love you.